Welcome to Lab Rats. I'm Andy Walker.
I'm Sean Carruthers.
And we're back from the road. We've been on the road looking at the CES in Las Vegas and Macworld, and we have some extra stuff for you.
Yeah, it was much warmer there. I'm looking forward to seeing this again so we can feel a little bit less frigid.
That's right.
So we looked at a few things while we were there. Looks into the future over the next year and even further out. You took a look at...
my brain's frozen, but I look at Windows Vista. That's a new operating system from Microsoft due out later this year. And then I think we looked at small, round, flat things, right?
Yeah, DVDs. So there's a new high-definition DVD war going on with Blu Ray and HD DVD. I talked to my DVD insider, Andy Marken, for a candid, frank conversation about the future of the technology.
It's awesome. And then we wrap up this show with a look at electronic fabric.
Yes. Fabric that senses where you're touching it. Now, it's nothing new. It's out there right now, but you know it's coming. It's going to be mainstream very soon.
All right, well, let's get to it. Well, I'm here at the Microsoft booth, and we've just had a sneak peek of Windows Vista. Barry's here with us to tell us some of the key features of this new operating system being released towards the end of this year, I understand.
That's right. That's right. By holiday this coming year.
So tell me, Windows Vista, what's different?
Well, it's being rebuilt from the ground up, so it's totally new. Visually, it's dramatic, it's cool, as well as it's safe. So everything, it's got anti-spyware built in.
So let's go one by one. So let's talk about security first.
Yes.
So tell me about the security features in Vista.
It has security features built in not only in the code itself, but in Internet Explorer, so that you're not going to sites you shouldn't be going. There's warnings, and it's helpful in that way.
It has anti-phishing technology built into the new browser?
Yes, it does.
Which would be, I guess, Internet Explorer number 7, version 7.
Number 7.
Right. When Microsoft Anti-Spyware has been renamed too, hasn't it?
Yes, it's called Windows Defender now and is incorporated into the operating system. So when you buy it, you'll be getting it.
So somebody tries to automatically download to my machine. What happens with Windows Vista now?
When you automatically download?
When a program tries to automatically download itself from, like, say, what they call drive-by downloads, what happens now with Vista?
You'll get a message which will ask you whether you want to download that.
So this really nasty piece of spyware allowed on my computer, is that what it's going to ask me?
Exactly.
Right. As far as safety goes, I guess there's a whole new thing with parental guidance, parental controls. Tell me a bit about that.
Family settings, so that's for the first time that's incorporated into the operating system, so you can control not only the games that your children are playing, but the time that they're on the computer, so that you can and then you can also easily find out what their websites they're visiting, that sort of thing. So it's a really great tool for parents.
That's a great tool for parents. The idea that you can actually control your child's usage of your computer by time, by content, that sort of idea. Tell me a bit about the new interface then, and this sort of a whole idea of transparent windows.
It's really just to make it helps to make it dramatic, to make it we're launching a dramatically new operating system, and it's going to look dramatically different. So there's going to be that transparency. We're calling it Aero Glass, and it will have 3D effects incorporated into it as well.
What about how information is sorted on the computer? How do I access all the zillion files that I've got?
Well, search has been totally engineered into this so that you can easily find, it doesn't matter where you've put your files. You can easily search for not only programs and files, but music files, video, everything. It doesn't matter. It will search your whole hard drive.
So I could type in a phrase and it would find that phrase and all the in the files maybe on my system?
Right, and it will do it quickly.
And that's good. Quickly is good, because it's been a little slow before in XP. What about connectivity? Tell me a bit about connectivity.
Well, there is a mobility center, so with folks with laptops, there's just a much easier way of finding out, are you getting connected, staying connected, and so that has definitely been enhanced.
For the laptop users, better Wi-Fi management for access points?
It's much easier, as well as for new hardware, new PCs in the new year, there will be an instant on-off as well. So much more like your TV, that you will have that capability as well.
Speaking of which, Windows Media Center has been a particular version of XP. I understand the Media Center is now being built into Vista.
Yes, it will be. Everything and all the learning that we have has been incorporated into Windows Vista.
And how many different versions are we going to see of Windows Vista?
Can't comment on that right now, but in the near future we'll be able to share that with you.
All right, well, stay tuned. Windows Vista being shown now here at CES, and we're going to see a lot more in the coming weeks and months. Thank you, Barry.
Thanks, Andy.
Well, there you go, Windows Vista. What do you think?
jury's still out for me. It's still a long ways off. I'm not sure that there's anything really new here, and from what I hear, things are being stripped back out of it, so we'll see.
Anyway, up next, we're going to look at the new high-definition DVD war. You talked to who?
I talked to Andy Marken, who is he's in communications, but he does a lot of work with DVDs, and so he's been talking a lot about HD DVD and Blu Ray, the different camps, content providers, and manufacturers that are lined up on both sides. So it's shaping up to be a very interesting battle on that side. So we've chatted with him to see what he thinks about it.
It's the new Millennium VHS versus Beta war.
All over again.
Let's take a look.
So I'm here with Andy Marken from Marken Communications, who is my DVD insider.
We were talking here at CES, we're looking at HD and BD technologies, and we still have DVD out there, and everybody calls it a war. It's not really a war. It dawned on me early this morning, it has nothing to do with which content. It's not that my content wins and your content loses. It's really, we have platforms already. We have a Nintendo game system, we have an Xbox, and we have a PSP, a PlayStation. And they all coexist, so will one ultimately win? Yes, probably. And it depends on where the content goes first. So that's going to be 2 to 3 years before we really see any significance. You're not going to pay $1,000 for a burner and $45 for a piece of media. We have to wait for that to come down, and that's going to take 2 to 3 years. It has with every technology.
So do you think the uptake on this, in terms of, say, prepackaged media like movies from the major studios, do you think that partly may take a while to catch on just because of, consumer fatigue? We went through this when people switched from vinyl to CD, and then a little bit more so when they switched to the newer CD format, Super Audio and whatnot.
Yeah.
They're not going for it. Do you think they will here?
They're not going because it's a twofold thing. DVD is significantly better than VHS. I mean, it's not just a little better. It's significantly better.
Is it good enough, though?
It's good enough. That's the key. It's good enough. You have to put 2 screens side by side of HD content and DVD to see the difference. And the consumer, there's 2 things I always see. I see these big plasma screens out there, and they say, HD ready. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Consumer says, okay, it's ready for me to stream my content to them. And they know that they're getting HD content because right at the bottom it says HD TV, we're available. And I'm going, hey, I get HD TV. Look at that. I can play my goddamn DVD.
I get HD on my old 13-inch television.
That's right, because it says HD right there. I can play my DVD. And, so it's the industry hasn't done a good job of saying, hey, there's a big difference, type of. But you talk about the content owners, Hollywood. If they make the digital rights management, which I always like that word, digital rights means I get rights, but consumer doesn't get rights. If they make that so difficult, the consumer's not going to go and get the content. I saw one of the HD presentations, and they talked about, and you can make a managed copy. Mm-hmm. I have to wait till I get back to find out. I don't know what a managed copy is. That means I can't do a thing with it, or can I run it around the house?
It might mean putting a rootkit on your machine like they do in the CD industry.
Like they do there. No, they won't tolerate that. So, there are still issues, and until they get those things solved, Hollywood, or Bollywood, if you care, whichever, is not going to release their content to the world, and consumers are not going to, go along with them if it isn't cheap and it isn't easy to use.
It's got to be both.
If I have to jump through hoops, I'm not going to do it.
What do you feel about the future of the players themselves? So obviously they're announcing Blu Ray and HD DVD here on the show floor. They did that last year as well.
Yeah, we did it last year, and we're probably going to be shipping them in about 6 months.
What kind of price point are you expecting?
Looking at $750. That is not a consumer. That's people who bought Laserdisc, and who have $10,000 home theater system. We have to get that price down to below $200 before it's a consumer product.
How long do you think that's going to take?
That's going to take to about 2 years.
2 years. So 2 years for HD, DVD, and Blu Ray. It'll be sitting there on your shelf at that point.
Got it.
So Sean, who do you think is going to win, HD DVD or Blu-ray?
Again, it's just like Windows Vista. Still too early to tell. It's probably going to come out by Christmas of this year, if then, and it could go either way at this point.
All right, coming up next, we have a little segment I did with Elexon, a company that makes electronic fabric.
A very smart fabric, too. It can tell where you're touching it. It has touch sensitivity. Anyways, don't let me tell you about it. Let's roll it.
Well, what about fabric that is touch sensitive? I'm here with John from Elexon, who has a really innovative technology called Electex.
Electrotextile.
And what is that exactly?
It is a touch-sensitive textile that we use to create interfaces for consumer electronics.
So what kind of applications would it have? I mean, you have something here, looks like a control for an iPod. Show the camera.
Yeah, exactly right. This is a 5-button controller made completely out of fabric. What you see here is an overlay fabric. This is to explain to manufacturers how they use it. But if I pull this off, what's behind this is in fact a complete piece of our touch-sensitive textile, Electex.
Now is that dry clean friendly?
It's dry clean friendly, it's washable friendly, it just keeps going. In fact, it's so tough we've done a 10 million key press test on this fabric and it never sort of wore out. So it's a really tough piece of fabric.
Now you have a fabric keyboard someplace.
Yes, absolutely right. Rolled up here in my pocket is a fabric keyboard.
Check this out.
And this is designed to work with smartphones. So we know a lot more people are using sort of mobile email, mobile applications, and often they're saddled with a phone that just has a thumb pad. Thumb pads are really great if you're sort of rushing around, but if you want to type a real email, you need something a little bit bigger. This is a full laptop-sized keyboard, and it's made completely of fabric. So that means that when you're finished, you can roll it up very easily and stick it in your pocket. It's a Bluetooth device, so it talks to any Bluetooth smartphone.
So is it waterproof too?
It's coffee-proof.
It's coffee-proof. That's good for me. And what sort of chances of making garments beyond jackets? I know you guys have some jackets made out of these things, but what about touch-sensitive underwear?
Well, that's always an option.
Electronic fabric. You think we're gonna have like electronic socks or something?
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, like, play, pause, fast forward.
Why do that? We should just go straight for the iPod tattoos, electronic sensors right under our skin.
Like, play! Anyway, that's it for this show. I'm Andy Walker, and that was Sean Carruthers. Don't forget, sorry, Sean, to email us. We always like to hear from you at feedback@labrats.tv, and we should tell them about the forums.
Yeah, the Lab Rats Lounge. You can go to labrats.tv, click on the link for the forums. You can chat with other Lab Rats fans, talk to us, all of that good stuff.
Well, thank you for downloading, and that's it for this show. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hold this.
Think he'll go right into the water? No, he's just going to scare some ducks. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Andy Walker.